What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined by my dad, Sean, and today at Reactions to the Classics, we have a song battle featuring a group that haven't featured on the channel yet.
We have not. The Average White Band, or Average White Band, AWB, whatever you want to call them, Pick Up the Pieces versus and Cut the Cake from our friend, longtime supporter and patron of the channel, Seals. Thank you, Seals. Always appreciate you.
And we'll just kind of get into a little overview of the group before we dive into the songs themselves. The Average White Band, or we'll just call them AWB from here on out, are a Scottish funk and R&B band that had a series of soul and disco hits between 1974 and 1980. They are best known for their million-selling instrumental track, Pick Up the Pieces, which, hey, that's what we're doing today.
Exactly.
And their albums, AWB and Cut the Cake. They have been sampled by various musicians, including the Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, TLC, Too Short, Ice Cube, Eric B. and Rakim, Nas, A Tribe Called Quest, Christina Milian, and Arrested Development, making them the 15th most sampled act in history. As of 2020, 48 years after their formation, they continue to perform. So obviously just massive in the hip-hop community, and being a big hip-hop fan, I'm curious if I'll know these.
So you might know these. AWB was formed in 1972 in London by Alan Gorey and Malcolm Molly Duncan, with Owen Ani McIntyre, Michael Rosen on trumpet, Roger Ball, and Robbie McIntosh joining them in the original lineup. Hamish Stewart quickly replaced Rosen. McIntyre and McIntosh were used as session musicians on Chuck Berry's recording of My Ding-a-Ling. According to Duncan, members of the band had played together before in Scotland, but had moved to London separately and met up by chance at a Traffic concert with the great Steve Winwood.
There we go.
They decided to jam together. A friend heard them and remarked, "This is too much for the average white man," which became adapted as the name of the band. Because I told you before we started filming, like, I know the name of this band because it's a great name for a band, because you actually
you're gonna remember it.
But I don't know that I know any of their songs.
We will kick this thing off with Pick Up the Pieces. It's from 1974, off their second record. Songwriting credit was given to founding member and saxophonist Roger Ball and guitarist Hamish Stewart. Individually and the entire band collectively, it was essentially an instrumental, apart from the song's title being shouted at several points in the song. According to old Malcolm Duncan, he had disagreed with releasing the song as a single because the song is, quote, a funk instrumental played by Scotsmen with no lyrics other than a shout, not necessarily on paper what you'd think a successful single would be.
True, and he also said about the shouts of Pick Up the Pieces, it's about picking yourself up whenever things aren't going well. We'd spent a lot of time making no money whatsoever, so it felt very relevant. Released in the UK in July of 74, but failed to chart when the album was released in the US in October of 74. Radio stations started playing the song in February of 75 and went to the top of the US singles charts, 4 in Canada. After that success, the song charted in the UK and climbed to number 6. You just needed to go over somewhere. So surely I'm going to know this, surely, even though, 1974, I was 3 years old, but it had to have been played a lot. So let's check it out. Oh yeah, I know this song. Oh yeah.
I don't believe
sound like
I
a bunch
do.
of white dudes from Scotland, I can tell you that.
I don't think I know, but I'm liking what I'm hearing, man. This has that funkiness that just is so stuck in your head.
Yeah, I was going to say, stuck in your head.
waiting for the shouts to come in, man.
There you have it. Pick up the pieces. Trey, it's insane to me this has went to number one when you think about it. Like an instrumental going to number one on the,
No, yeah, you're right, man.
I mean, I did know it once it started. I mean, I know that little riff in there. Really good song. The bass line is infectious.
Oh, yeah, man. I love great bass lines and I love horn sections.
Yeah,
and this song had them both.
It's right up your alley, man. So, yeah, just a fantastic track. But still crazy when you think it had that kind of chart success with everything that was out at that time.
No, definitely, man. It struck me too that this feels authentically 70s and yet still is oddly kind of modern and fresh, even listening to it in 2021. Like it doesn't sound out of place if you were to bump this on the stereo or whatnot. It's just
good point.
With the hypnotic nature of the tune, man. It's it's very funky and just a groovy jam right here, man. Groovy jam.
Definitely doesn't sound like a bunch of Scottish white guys.
No.
I can tell you that. You would have never dreamed of that. That's going to take us to Cut the Cake off this album of the same name in 1975, which was the follow-up album to the previous album, AWB, from 74. Recording was plagued by creative and artistic differences. We never heard that story before, have we, bands, with several members of the band walking out of the studio on 3 occasions. One point of conflict was the band's mourning for original drummer Robbie McIntosh, who died of a heroin overdose in 1974. The
song was nominated for the Grammy for Best R&B Performance by a duo or group with vocals, but it lost to The Great Shining Star by Earth, Wind & Fire, which we have an Earth, Wind & Fire battle up that Seals also brought us some time ago.
Man.
If you'd like to check it out. This went to 10 in the US, 31 in the UK. They re-released it about a decade later where it reached 34 in the US yet again. So, yeah, man, looking forward to diving into this one. Getting that bass line thumping, man.
Yeah, that rhythm section is the superstar of this so far.
Some loving on the side. Cut the cake open, you can be satisfied. She said, how do you like it, boy? I said, oh, 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 I like it like that. Like it like that, girl. Ooh, I just like it, y'all. Gimme, 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 gimme that cake. Taste the cake, don't pass it all around. Gimme, 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 gimme that cake. I never knew you cook the way you do. Gimme, 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 gimme that cake. Taste the cake, don't pass the recipe around. Gimme, 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 gimme that cake. Got to cut it, cut it down. You got to cut it down. Hey, honey, sweet sugar. Cut it down, right down. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Roaring conclusion.
Got that right. All right, cut the cake. Trey, before you say anything, I'm going to ask you what you think first, but I do have one hot take on this song.
Oh, okay. I'm ready to hear it.
I think it would have been better without vocals. I actually
Yeah. No, man. That's that's interesting. I mean, the vocals were definitely my least favorite portion of the
And
song.
it doesn't
you know?
it didn't really make any sense. Like we want to put some on her to give it some
Cut that
sort of-
cake, baby.
Cut the cake. I mean, it's not horrible, but I'm like, I just like maybe just strip those out and see what we got there.
Because yet again, that horn section was so hypnotic.
Yeah, and the bass line and the drumming at the start, that rhythm section was really going. So that's my only take on this song, really. I mean, it was a really well done song.
No, man, and I'm with you too. It just the lyrics did seem a bit of just like a fun placeholder,
Yeah, exactly.
so to speak, man. But it was interesting hearing going from pick up the pieces with no lyrics essentially to this how that kind of went. But I'm with you, man. I mean, yet again, it had the hallmarks of it seems like their sound after two songs with the horn section and the bass line thumping in here. But
For sure.
I enjoyed it. But I think for me, this is an easy winner on this, man. I got to go pick up the pieces.
Me as well. I mean, nothing wrong with Cut the Cake, Pick Up the Pieces. Great tune. Great suggestion. As always, Seals, we appreciate you and all our patrons. You like to help us out in any way, check out the Patreon link below or the Patreon link on the end screen that's going to hit in a few seconds.
And be sure to give a big thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button if you liked what you saw today. Thanks again, Seals, for introducing us, man. He's introduced us to a lot of great
Definitely has.
70s groups that maybe aren't in just popular everyday music discussion, man. So that's always fun. But until next time, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and we will see you.